Enough is enough, and it's time for a change.
Hey, yo.
My life, my money, my legacy.
Thunder Rosa and Dr. Britt Baker, main event, AEW Dynamite, and it ends in a crazy bloodbath of violence. Hello, everybody. My name is the host with the most, Jared Never Sleeps, your boy, and I'm here with my very handsome co-host, the straight shoot in a suit, Adam Anthony James Martin. Adam, how you doing?
Excellent. It's Wednesday night. That means AEW Dynamite, baby.
You know what that means.
Interesting show. Normally I like to start off with a lot of positive things and stuff like that, Jared. We like to keep it positive. It is pro wrestling. We're all fans here.
Yep. It's fake.
Just minor negatives. This show. What's that? Sorry.
It's fake for all the viewers who don't know yet. I hope I didn't spoil it for people.
Yeah,
Internet wrestling community. It's fake.
But just a few things on this episode that I noticed that kind of irked me a little bit more so than the positive side, which is a rarity for us. But we'll dive deep into that once we get into the show. But how was your week? Obviously, we had some issues, earlier in the week that we won't really speak of.
We had issues at the border and such. We couldn't smuggle Adam into the States, so we couldn't make the episode. But hey, we're here tonight with AEW Dynamite, and let's get right into this this main event match between Thunder Rosa and Dr. Britt Baker DMD. This was not the match. First of all, I wasn't expecting it to main event the show, but this was definitely not the match I was expecting out of them.
It was surprising, actually. Yeah, like you said, just not the match I was expecting. There was a few things about this match specifically that I did not like about it. Way too many gimmicks, in my opinion. I think it hides. And no offense to Britt Baker, I think she's the best talent on that roster when it comes to the females in that division. I think she's the top notch. She's my number one pick between any company right now. If I had to pick, female talent, number one, Britt Baker. But her in-ring, in terms of her technical ability, doesn't match other females that we see at the same level of competition or on national television from week to week. So this kind of, in my opinion, masked that lack of ability, I think.
Yeah.
Mind you, she has the best promo. She can get heat over during the matches. She knows how to play up her character. She knows when to hit the heel spots to get the crowd, to really, inflamed, which is really great. She does an amazing job. But
correct me if I'm wrong.
Fantastic story.
And correct me if I'm wrong, because we haven't really been reviewing. We've only been reviewing AEW for a few weeks. I was initially not really a big fan of the promotion, but for even storyline's sake, right? The feud between Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker. Correct me if I'm wrong, but has it reached like blood, guts, and falls count anywhere levels of feud? Was it like, this seems like I don't know if it was really called for that type of match, no?
I know what you're saying, man, and I totally agree. That was the other thing that bothered me, was the fact that they were giving this type of match with a lack of an AEW background story, because they had their indie war, which is great.
Oh, they were feuding on the indies.
Yes, they've
okay, that's what I'm missing, because I was like, I didn't understand. They could have. Well, that's the announcers could have explained that to the audience. These women have been feuding for years now.
I think they've been trying to do that with just lacking depth within the description and the actual full story. But
I was confused. I'm like, why are they killing each other out there?
Exactly. All of a sudden, and that's what I didn't like either. They need more of an AEW storyline that develops to this, and they shouldn't have done it on TV. This is a match that you would expect at a pay-per-view to build up to. Not just give it away for free on TV. Unfortunately, they did. That was the only other thing that really bothered me about the match, minus the outcome. So there's three things that really bothered me. Britt Baker losing, the gimmicks,
Yeah.
and of course it being on TV for free, and again the lack of storyline. So I guess four things. But other than that, I think it worked out pretty well. Both of them took extreme bumps that I didn't think either would be able to take. Britt Baker,
Thumbtacks, yeah.
and her
Yeah,
super kicks on point. I wonder where she
yeah.
learned that.
Yeah, where did she get that from? Right. I was
Mm.
expecting her to take her knee pad down and do the one of the kicks. But yeah,
Britt Baker, baby.
Boom.
But we're not going to mention any other names on where she could have learned that.
Super kicks are sexually transmitted. But yeah, I like when I was watching the match, and I would give all the credit and respect in the world to Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker and Rebel for even putting on a hardcore match. I've never taken a bump in my life, and let alone getting chair shots or going through tables or getting thumbtacks in my back. So all the respect and credit in the world to them. However, like you said, I feel like from what I did see from them, when they had that kind of weird Japanese 3-person match, three girl match last time, I could see there's chemistry between Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker, and I feel like tension, yeah, and I feel like something like that, you don't want to, like you said, you don't want to put it on free TV, and it could be so much bigger if it was maybe a championship match or a blow off, or someone cost someone a championship, something like that they could have had. But again, I had no idea of the background they had from the indies, but it was just like, why is this on a random Wednesday Dynamite? And why are they going through dump tax? And I also felt like if you're going to have that hardcore type match, and you often see that the wrestlers usually change their gear, Britt Baker comes out with this beautiful, like pretty sparkling, bedazzled like outfit. And it's like, you're about to go through a war. So like usually they you've seen like Shane O'Mac puts on like a some sweatpants and a jersey, or like, you see the kind of different outfits.
No,
so
they put on the jeans like in the olden days.
Or like a street fight.
Or Terry Funk, Dusty Rhodes, even cowboy boots.
Yeah, cowboy boots.
The white shirt and the blue jeans.
Yeah,
Levi's, baby.
Yeah, so that kind of confused me about it, but and you say like the wrong person won, you believe? Yeah. Or I mean, I just don't like this match. I don't like it too soon. I feel like they could have really had because I like Thunder Rosa, I like Britt Baker, but just to have this match right now, I don't know.
I would have had them both gone through the table and both not been able to not continue, but both.
And the show goes off.
Pin,
and the show goes off. That would have been an awesome ending. They both go through that table.
The thumbtacks didn't need to be there. That's bullshit, in my opinion. Part of my French.
Yeah.
There were certain bumps in there that didn't have to happen. There were certain spots in there that didn't need to take place. Just save that for the stuff if you're going to actually do it. But in my opinion, stupidity, just for ratings, even pay-per-view buys, to risk your body and your career to do stupid stuff like that, especially nowadays when, you're looking at your other brand.
Yeah,
you look at what they're doing, and they're back to like the new generation area where they're pretty much on the brink of bringing out Doink the Clown again.
Yeah, and the Plumber and the Goon and all that.
TL Hopper and Skinner and no
Isaac Yankem,
but like they're on the brink over there. So you can do pretty much anything just above that. You don't have to do what you're doing to risk your top two female athletes, in my opinion, in the company, on television or even on pay-per-view for that matter.
Yeah, and I was really
neither of them were champion.
Yeah, and you got the champion in the back. I forgot her name. Yeah, Hida. You got her in the back just watching this match. These two kill each other. Like this, it was just kind of
They broke for once. It didn't do anything. It didn't involve.
Yeah, it confused me, and I was so shocked to see blood. Like especially like Britt Baker, she's like one of the, the prettier looking girls, the prettier performers. You usually see like kind of like the
both very attractive women.
Yeah, right. So
we're not in the era of bra and panty matches anymore. We're in the era of female dominance in terms of taking over the main event spots now, as we saw tonight. So that's really cool.
Right.
Again, I think they took it above and beyond. When the old saying, when too much is or what's the saying?
Too much of something is just no good. I believe the Spice Girl
Yeah,
said
it's
that
like
in '95.
or sometimes little is better than a lot. The old saying. I can't say
Yeah,
it,
right.
but yeah, I think they overdid it. They didn't. Now, what do you do from here? What do you
Oh
do from here?
man.
Like,
And
come on, like you've
that's
done
a good
everything in this
question.
match.
That's a
You've
good
involved
question.
a ladder, you've involved chairs, you've involved thumbtacks, you've involved tables, you've involved blood. What kind of build up now do you have other
And
than
you
cage?
haven't explained why. And you also have Britt Baker, who, in my opinion, is a great talent. You just had her just lose.
The best.
So, what was the point of that, really? Was it to make Thunder Rosa look better? I mean, she already looks good. I think she has like champion written all over her. If I think she should be the champion, or Britt Baker should be the champion. But yeah, I mean, I don't know where they're going with the storyline. But again, I'll give all the credit in the world to the girls for just making that match happen, because we don't see that often at all.
No, they stole the card, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would say that. So
Other
switching
than
gears, the show started off with Penta versus Cody, and again, it looks like they were kind of looking to front load that show and really get some people to pay attention. How did you feel about this match here?
meant nothing to me. It
Yeah,
was just a match. Again, two good wrestlers, two good talents in ring. Phoenix, questionably one of the most talented, if not the most talented right now in ring performer in any brand around the world.
yeah,
Cody being Cody is just so good. Like he just learned from questionably again one of the best of his time,
yeah,
being the Dream, and just Dustin as well, aka Gold Dust, and like
yeah.
he just has it in his blood. He just knows how to develop
He
a
has
good
that pedigree
story.
to him. He's
He
like
has the
special
pedigree.
to him. Yeah, he's special.
Exactly. But this for me was just a match for him to have, just to front load the show, like you said. They attempted to do that. They put on a good match, but did it mean anything? No.
No.
Didn't mean anything particularly for me. It was just on. I enjoyed it. There wasn't anything really I could say negative about it, other than it was just like, why? Okay, good match.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you
Good.
think?
Yeah. I mean, good wrestling match. Do we care about it? Possibly. Not really. I think that first slot would either be, I think that, what they did with Shaq was awesome. Have that as the first match. But at the same time, I feel like that first slot should really be something maybe like the TNT title. The show opens up with the TNT title every week, and you got. I would like to see Cody with the TNT title to open the show and just fight with indie guys or different people. That would be kind of cool. But again, we have to have a reason for why these guys are fighting, or we have to have a reason for why we care about this. So
It's like reverse WCW booking. Remember how WCW would front load their talent, their TV, and
yeah,
their pay per views with like guys like Ultimo Dragon, Rey Mysterio,
yeah,
Psychosis, Silver King, Eddie Guerrero when he was younger in his career with that company. Jericho,
yeah.
guys like that.
Cruiserweight division.
The real workhorses of the company, and the guys that really carried the entertainment value in terms of in ring, and never really got the opportunity to grow and utilize their promo skills. As we further learned, a lot of the names that I just mentioned were some of the best on the mic as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like they're doing the opposite of that. With the more you go into the card, I find they're, you know what I mean? Do you kind of see
Yeah,
what I'm going with this?
yeah,
Because Cody's heavyweight. They used Phoenix, but like at the same time, it was just a weird match for me, and the placement was kind of weird if they were going to do it, which they did, and then again, it just a good match. But
What
other than that,
I think I will say is that I feel like they are doing a pretty decent job of just trying to have good wrestling, because all the matches are pretty decent, and then the storylines are pretty decent. So they're giving us a good mixture of both. And they're still kind of new as well. So I think that is promising, that not everything is really, they're more malleable, let's say, than like a WWE, if you want to compare them to that. They're more malleable, and you can expect like them to try to at least adapt and put on a good show. And they're doing a
Yeah,
lot less of the
definitely
comedy
that.
stuff, which I think is just, that was one of my major criticisms of that. I don't really see any more Orange Cassidy like on my, he's not facing big guys, he's not facing big talents. So I
Nope.
think that's good for the program. But yeah, there's some matches that they just throw on, like with the Pentas and the Ray Phoenixes, they just throw them there, let them just fight somebody because they know they're gonna get a good match, but not necessarily a good storyline.
Yeah, exactly.
So
So like you said, they're just kind of those workhorse guys that just put in a really good talent and really good entertaining match to keep you watching to the next segue or the next segment. And they're just so talented, you can't help but not want to watch it,
yeah.
even though it might not mean nothing particularly. So
Right. And I guess it's for the crowd of the people who like just there's some people who just like the in-ring stuff and don't care about the storylines or whatever. I'm not one of those people. I'm more of a storyline person.
yeah, me
That's
too.
just me. But
Me too.
speaking of workhorse, Christian Cage had a backstage promo, and he was kind of talking about how he wants to be a world champion one day, but he knows he has to go up the ranks. He'll see Kenny Omega down the future. And the reason why he came to AEW is to cement his legacy. So it looks like they're gonna have Christian Cage. Sorry, they're gonna have Christian Cage just kind of go up the ladder. Do you prefer that type of setup versus him just going straight into a feud with Kenny Omega like they kind of teased last week?
I think his main purpose should be he made his point clear, which I like. He explained to
Yeah.
the audience, hey, this is what I'm here for. This is why I'm here. It made sense because, again, if we know his history, his career, all the way from, his Suicide Blondes days
Yeah.
before they were actually Edge and Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Sexton
you know,
Hardcastle.
he was always, he's kind of always in the shadow of Edge or Copeland.
Yeah.
So seeing Edge potentially or going into a main event for WrestleMania one more time, his best friend, and then he's sitting there not doing anything, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden he shows up in AEW. His main objective should be the exact same thing that Edge is doing. AEW, I almost pulled the JR, but AEW World Championship, that should be his goal. Not work your way up. Prove who he said who he was. We know who he is. We know what he's accomplished. This is his last stepping stone to that legacy that he speaks of. So working your way up the ranks doesn't sit well for me. I like the fact that he came out and made the point. I like that he said why. His choice of words for me, particularly, not a positive.
Yeah.
And I think he should have been more aggressive with what he wants and towards of challenging Omega for the championship. How did you feel about it?
Man, because
Agree?
yeah, I agree. I agree with what you're saying. I think that, and CM Punk made this point when they were asking him about who's going to be the big guy, and he said, I think they need to focus on who they have. And now I see what he means by that, because you have a Christian Cage who is a big name, who is a Hall of Fame worthy talent, who is a great worker and as an underrated performer. And now you don't really have space for him. So you have to make him have different matches and climb the ranks. Because if you put him in a feud right now with Kenny Omega, he's not going to come out of that as a champion.
No.
He's just not. So then he comes to AEW, he loses a championship match, and then what do you do with him? He goes back to the ranks anyway. So because they keep on adding these type of talents, and you have to, even we're seeing in the Sting thing, in the Sting feud with whoever he's feuding with. Now there always has to be a place for Sting, the 61-year-old guy. So now he's feuding with Lance Archer and he's feuding with Tad, like all these younger guys. That Ricky Stark is in this whole thing, and it's like, yeah, there's problematic with that. But to get back to Christian, I like the idea of it, but I can see that they have to just let this thing slow roll and let Kenny Omega get all this stuff done with the situation he has now.
Do you think it gets to the point where it becomes Christian or Christian Cage and Kenny Omega? Because you got to feel, with everything still going on with Moxley,
Yeah,
we'll talk about a little bit later.
Yeah,
Moxley's still got to come out on top on this whole never-ending feud, right? Like, is that Is that your opinion on this, or do you think Kenny's ended it for now? They pick it up, a year from now, and they revive that later on.
It's gonna take some time because they have that weird. I don't even know who Kenny Omega's feuding with now. It's kind of like he's a little bit feuding with the Young Bucks, and he's still kind of feuding with Moxley, and then the Christian thing happened. So it can go a lot of different ways, but I don't think we're going to see Christian in the main event picture for another probably like 3 to 4 months.
Not in the direct main event. Maybe the co-main, that spot, that upper mid-card to mid-card spot, like you said.
Yeah.
Like he said as well, build his way up, have him get a feud again or match against guys. Who would you like to see his first match against then?
Christian? Man. Yeah, they do have like a lot of people. They okay, what are you gonna put him against Penta and have him lose? You're gonna put him against Ray Phoenix, he's gonna lose. Like he has to. And then what, you gonna put him in with Joey Nutella, with Joey Janela, sorry. Joey Janela, sorry. Joey Janela. Yeah, who could you? I mean, Miro. I don't even know who you put Christian in with. Like he's got to get a couple wins. So, yeah, Matt Hardy maybe. Yep. Matt Hardy was perfect. Matt Hardy can take some losses. Matt Hardy is like I don't want to call him a jobber. He's a great enhancement talent.
Gatekeeper.
Matt Hardy's. Yeah, you can do Christian versus Matt Hardy. And speaking of Matt Hardy, that 10-person tag cluster fuck that they had.
Why?
Because they have to put guys on TV and they only have one show, I guess.
Why?
Yeah. Right. Every week. A 20-person tag team match. And the poor ref, like when everyone just hit the ring.
They have 3 shows.
They have 3 shows now. No excuse.
What are they doing? And why is the Butcher and the Blade with Matt Hardy? And why is Matt Hardy so desperate for money when
he's Matt Hardy? He has money. Where did this come from?
He has to have money.
No Hangman this episode?
No Hangman.
That's my guy.
He lost his quarter annually, so he's picking up the slack with Butcher, the Blades, McQueen, and who's the other guy?
I don't even know their names. And Butcher and the Blade and the Bunny or something.
No, the Bunny. That's Allie from Toronto.
Yeah.
Pepper Parks is, I believe, the Butcher or one of the two.
I have no idea. I just say Butcher, Blade, and the Bunny. I don't know. Yeah.
Pepper Parks.
It's like I don't know. I still don't know the difference between Jimmy and Jey Uso. I still don't know. To this day.
They're famous in Toronto, though. They used to work for Smash Wrestling, which is a local company or provincial company, I should say, out of Toronto.
I grew up in Vince's territory, so I know nothing about that.
But I don't get this one. I didn't really care for it too much. It was pointless to me. We had going back to the first match, we had a roll-up win.
Yeah.
Was this another match that we had another roll-up win?
Did this match end up in a roll-up? Let me take a look at my notes.
I had other notes and I rewrote them. And
yeah, who won this one? And that's the thing. Like these matches don't even matter to the point where it's like, okay, Matt Hardy won.
So it wasn't a roll.
Matt demands a tag and Marla twist of fate, and he gets the 1-2. Yeah, twist of fate. Yeah. But again, there's these matches that we don't even care about. We don't know who won because it's just a random team of people all the time.
It's like a Japanese style of event too. Like you'll see a lot of, if you watch New Japan Pro Wrestling, you'll see like 4 8-man tag matches on that one card. It's like,
oh, so okay, that makes sense. So Kenny Omega being the EVP and those guys, they're really with the Japanese style of stuff. But that explains the lady Matu IC.
All the factions.
Yeah, all the factions.
So many factions in New Japan as well. It's crazy. You can't keep up.
Okay, guys, that makes sense. Because again, I grew up in Vince's territory, so it was just like one person and one person, or 2 people and 2 people, and that's it. We didn't have all this crazy stuff. And midgets, lots of midgets growing up. Lots of midgets. With clown
Dink,
faces.
Wink, and Pink.
Yeah, Dunk, Dink, and Pink, and Queasy and Sleazy.
Wheezy.
Yeah. So that match I didn't really care for, but there was a segment I actually really, really liked. It was storytelling, long-term storytelling. I gotta talk about MJF and his new faction. They have a name now, the Pinnacle. The Pinnacle.
I like the name.
I like the
Everyone
name.
thought it was going to be like Dynasty or like something weird like that.
Yeah,
but no.
the Six Horsemen or something.
The Pinnacle. I like this. This is
Yeah,
awesome.
that's a good name. So MJF, great on the mics. He cuts a scathing promo once again. He's talking about how he wanted to destroy the inner circle from within, and he did that. And what I really liked, he said something to the effect of, "Do you think I liked pretending to be your friend? You think I liked doing that stupid song and dance stuff, that shucking and jiving? I did it to get to you." Da 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 da. And I'm just like, you guys just eliminated all the people on the internet who hate the jokey stuff and why they do it in the Cornet crowd. And he explained it. He was just, it was a work the whole time. It's, oh man, he's good. And then he put his whole faction over. He calls Warlow the best big man in the industry. He calls Tully Blanchard the mastermind, the greatest mind in wrestling. Then FDR, he says that they are the only Grand Slam champions in the industry. And Sean Spears has been a man who's been held down his whole career, but now he's going to show you why he's the chairman. Then he puts himself over. I've only been on television for only a year. I am only 24 years old, and there's 25 more years of this, and I'm just going to get better with age. And I'm just like, yeah, true heel. True. He's a 24-year-old leader of a faction. Like, let's put that to perspective. He's the best. He's leading a faction right now.
The best. And the tie-in, the long, slow burning wick.
They really did that.
And the loop around to everything, all the shenanigans and the bullshit that he did before with Jericho. And everyone's, again, like you said, questioning, why is this serious heel? This guy that doesn't, break gimmick. He keeps kayfabe 24/7, Twitter, social media, videos. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
In ring, out ring. That's who he is. Doing all this shit with Jericho, this sing and dance and fun and games.
Yeah. He's like, this is not a joke to me.
And just when he said that, it was like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, thank you for making this make sense again, because before you had me a little lost. And that's props to AEW, because that's props to whoever wrote that and whoever said, hey, let's do this. It's going to take this long to finish.
And to be honest, they probably just thought of it like within the last week. I doubt they had the foresight to, do that for the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
But
whoever connected the dots.
But it's great to fake it, though. Yeah, it's great to fake it at least. Like, that was our plan the entire time. We did the hokey comedy stuff 6 months ago, so he can make this line up right now. So, yeah, I mean, that just really, because that's the only really real criticism of AEW, besides like them being like just 112-pound wrestlers and the comedy stuff for the most part. So the fact that they're doing less of that comedy stuff and they have great characters like MJF, and he's got a great faction in those guys. But there was no inner circle on the show tonight. So I guess this is going to be like a slow burn that leads to a pay-per-view.
It has to, maybe like a Blood and Guts pay-per-view that they've been hyping, which is their version potentially of Fall Brawl War Games, maybe.
Yeah,
because Blood and Guts, that's
another arena match.
That's War Games, baby, and that'd be amazing. And now, if you were leading up to War Games, say if they were doing a 5 versus 5, Inner Circle versus the Pinnacle, and they were leading up to this, and you had to say, pair everybody up in a feud prior to this 5 versus 5 brawl. Who are you going to match up with? Who? Obviously, you have to do MJF and Jericho, right?
I mean, you could
Sammy, you have Ortiz and Santana, and you have.
It's a 5-on-5. They can make that their own pay-per-view. To be honest, they can just have like 5 matches. You got Wardlow versus Jake Hager. You got the main event would have to be MJF versus Jericho. Then you have what is it? Prideful?
Proud and Proud?
Yeah, versus FTR.
Proud and Beautiful.
And then you got Sammy Govar versus Sean Spears. And it's a best of 5. It's a best of 5. The main event ends in like some type of schmoz. And then the next pay-per-view, you have that blood and guts, like just mayhem match. That would be That would be
Kind
awesome.
of like what WWE did with Invasion, and then they had the Survivor Series winner takes all. They had
Right,
the 5-on-5
exactly.
that meant nothing,
Right,
and then they had the winner takes all.
right. That would
But
book
yeah,
it,
if you did
Tony.
like a Grand, what if you did you did like your Grand Prix. You
I'm
take out
American. I don't know what that means. I just Grand Prix. I know is
the
like
Grand
racing.
Prix version of saying 5 versus 5. It's 5 different single matches.
Oh, okay,
So they
got you.
almost have like a Grand Prix, but in team form. You take away the points like they would have in Japan,
Yeah.
and you utilize like an old school Survivor Series rule, where the winners of each match from each team go on to a main event later on that night. So it'd be, say, if Sammy wins, Sammy goes on to the main event.
Mm-hmm.
If Jericho loses, MJF goes on to the main event. If Santana and Ortiz win, now you have Sammy, Ortiz, Santana
Oh,
versus
got you. Yeah, yeah. That was
MJF,
yeah.
and who
Your best versus our best, or something like that.
yeah. So
Yeah,
it's like, I don't know. I'm just broadly thinking.
yeah.
I wouldn't do that personally, but you never know. It'd be
But
kind of
hey,
cool.
like
It's different.
they're getting us talking about it. They're getting us talking about, and again, MJF has been elevated. He delivers every single time. So
He's established, in my opinion.
yeah, I'm really liking
He
how
could be
this.
the world champion for 2
I'm
years, and I would not bat an eye.
man. When do you do it? When do you put the belt on MJF? Because he's got a long career ahead of him. If we're gonna see
He's
this guy
still
for the next 25 years.
once he gets the belts, he's got to feud with Cody eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a while, but that's how you build your own in home stars. Is put the belt on MGF, and then some face is gonna have to beat him eventually, whoever that's gonna be.
Exactly.
So switching gears, let's get into Moxley and Kingston versus the Good Brothers. Now we were texting before during the show. This wasn't a match you particularly liked.
I did, but I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good match. Why doesn't a guy in Eddie Kingston's position have better gear? Why does he look like a mixture of Franklin Turtle Vince?
It's the New York in him, man. It's the New York. He's from New York streets. He
It's
wears
the
the
top, though.
Timbs.
The top
He wears the
gets me.
jeans.
I like the jeans.
He's got the what's name look.
The Franklin the Turtle top.
He dresses like Luke Harper. If Luke Harper was from Harlem.
Luke Harper would wear like a wife beater, right?
Yeah.
But like this guy's got like the spandex top. He doesn't have the figure and the height.
Yeah, he looks homeless. He just looks like a homeless guy. Like he looks like an ECW wrestler. That's exactly what he looks like. If you were making an ECW created character, it would be Eddie Kingston.
Local Hamilton, Ontario, London, Ontario.
Yeah.
Wrestler. But his talent is
second to none.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, second to none.
I love his in-ring work. So despite the ring gear, who cares? His promos are amazing. Mm-hmm. His selling's phenomenal. The way that he executes moves is perfect. Like sometimes he might oversell, as we saw at the
hit the deck
revolution. But that's just Eddie being a good team player and trying to do whatever he can to make anything better for the fans, and to save the match's ass, so to speak. So
yeah,
what did you think of the tag match, and do you think the right team won?
I'm not a big. I mean, like again, I said I don't think I mentioned it enough. I grew up in Vince's territory, so I haven't really seen the New Japan stuff. I remember like Doc Gallows was like Festus and stuff, so I'm not really invested in those type of characters. So just like, okay, this gives Kingston and Moxie something to do. I'm not really invested in the storyline. I do like the stuff with Kenny Omega. I think that stuff's really interesting that they have going on now. But it's it's whatever to me. I'm not really big on that, and I'm kind of like, all right, when is it? Where is this going? And when is it going to end? That's how I'm kind of with it.
Yeah, I think they're gonna branch off in that tag feud with the Good Brothers and Moxley and Eddie. And if you're not familiar with New Japan, like you said, but Carl Anderson was the leader of the Bullet Club at one point in time. Like this guy was legit, and they got heat.
I didn't know that.
Like they got major heat. Like they were badass. and then they came into WWE and they got whitewashed, like just completely made it look like a fool. And since they've gone to TNA, to their own credit, they brought their credibility back up to a higher standard now, to the point where, you know, they can be established with a guy like Kenny Omega once again, you know, in all their careers. And they make a great tandem. I loved their version of the Bullet Club. It was beautiful. It worked great. They were savages. And they're kind of trying to do the same thing right now, but with a more modern era and a different type of audience, being from America now. So they had to alter it. It took some time to adjust. Kenny, I think, still, I don't fully like him, the way he presents himself still. I think there's a better version of him still yet to come that we haven't seen here in America. I think he's still trying to play up the New Japan stuff just a little bit, because that's how he got over. That's what made him big after not making it in WWE and not getting over here before. But slowly but surely, it will come. It's Kenny Omega, after all. Questionably greatest talent in ring, you know, today, and fellow Canadians. So I'm not going to hate on the man.
You said great, in ring today, not in ring ever.
No, in ring today.
Okay, got you.
Questionably. Enough. I don't agree with that, but
it's not Goldberg. I'm just playing. It's definitely not Goldberg.
Not
it's
Edge.
Sure not Goldberg. It's for sure not Goldberg.
You sure it's not Edge?
Edge isn't bad in ring. He's not bad.
He's not the best.
He's got the spear.
Shane McMahon's the best in the world.
Oh gosh. Oh God. We got to get to that later. We have to get to that another time. I hate Shane McMahon. I hate the booking of Shane McMahon.
Weren't they on Nickelodeon last?
Yeah, it was
Nickelodeon
awful.
Slime.
It was awful. I don't even want to talk about it. It makes me just as mad as Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks booking. Damn it.
Let's stick to the positive stuff of AEW that they brought to them. That's
right.
Because it was a good show. It was a really good show.
It was a good show. And before we wrap up, last take on this, Angelico versus Rey Fenix. Now you said I'm not too familiar with Angelico, but
no, it's Penta. No, it's Penta and Cody.
It was Rey Fenix and Angelico. Penta and Cody was the first match. Then we had match 4 was Angelico versus Rey Fenix.
See, it's weird splitting up the Lucha. Like, Pac and Phoenix teaming now when it was the Lucha Brothers before.
Yeah.
But then you have Penta doing something with Cody, and then you got Phoenix doing this with, who just Angelico. Yeah. One half of the Hybrid 2 with Jack Evans. So again, you have two good athletes, two good flip-de-doos and whip-de-woos. Two good spot guys.
Yeah.
But there's no substance to this. It didn't really mean anything again. It was just a fast-paced match that any two lightweights could have in that company because they got so much talent in that division.
Yeah.
But they don't focus on it like they should, I don't think. Like WCW had a great cruiserweight division.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal. It was
great. The TNT belt's been held up. I wouldn't mind a cruiserweight title either. If you add another title, it'd be a cruiserweight for sure. People love cruiserweight.
Lance Archer could, compete for the TNT. That's your intercontinental valued title. If we're looking at it at that perspective, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't have any in between. They don't have a guy for the mid. They don't have a belt for the mid card. They don't have a belt for the lower card to help establish those guys.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they'll get there. I'm sure they thought about it.
They have a lot of good problems ahead. I would say definitely a lot of great problems ahead. Yeah.
They have too many good problems.
Yeah.
Other than some booking.
Yeah. And it's still only year 2 they're going through. And there's a pandemic outside.
Better already.
They're getting better. Yeah.
For sure. If we're going to look at this in a positive manner, hands down, this time last year, it was horrible. Don't get me wrong. It was horrible with so much potential.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's good.
Dare I say it's the best wrestling show each week?
Yes. If you call it wrestling, I don't call this wrestling. I don't call any
sports entertainment. It's the best sports entertainment show out of Raw, SmackDown, NXT.
Sports entertainment wrestling show. Yes.
Yeah, I can get down with that. I do enjoy SmackDown most of the time, though. I do enjoy SmackDown, but
the shadow of a wrestling show, what a wrestling show, potentially could be. They're the closest thing to it.
I would say that. Last question. Jade Cargill versus in a squash match. She fought a girl. Let me get this girl's name.
Jordan.
Danny Jordan.
Danny Jordan.
Danny
Jordan's
Jordan.
last. Yeah.
Yeah. Jade Cargill versus Danny Jordan, a squash match. How do you feel about Jade Cargill? She's 2-0 now. Where is she going next?
She did a complete 180. Am I correct on that? Because her promo sucked when she first came out and was bickering back and forth with Brandy. Maybe it was just something to do with Brandy being involved. I don't know. I don't think she's great on the mic, but
Yeah.
needless to say, back to Jade. She's fluttered when she came in. It looked like she was slipping around in oil. She was swimming, but just couldn't keep up with anyone or anything, especially on national television. And then all of a sudden she gets in the ring and she's got the physique, she's got the height, she's got the look, she's got the agility, she's got the ability, she's
an athlete. She's a hell of an athlete.
She's got the look, and she pulls it off. Yeah. And this squash match was exactly what she needed coming off that big tag, like that match a couple weeks ago, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Was it last week or the week before?
That must have been, I think 2 weeks ago it might have been.
Yeah, 2
weeks ago, yeah.
2 weeks ago. So that was a huge debut basically for her in ring, and then coming out here and doing this against
Danny Jordan.
Danny Jordan.
Yeah.
That's right. And squashing her like the way she did. She looked really strong. She looked great. She got to utilize her moveset. She got to demonstrate those skills. Bada bing, bada boom, a quick 1, 2, 3.
And she got the flex.
Bring back the squashes.
Bring back the squashes. Book it, Tony.
If they're gonna mean something and make sense to help build someone up like that did, by all means, bring them back, baby. I like it. Bring me back WWE Superstars version of the squash.
Hashtag bring back our squashes. How would you rate this week's show? How would you rate Dynamite if you had to give it a grade?
I give it a B.
Yep.
I think that's fair to say, just because the in-ring talent is never shy from great. And the main event was very exciting, even though it was a little over gimmicked.
Yeah.
I love Britt Baker. I almost said Brick. Britt Baker.
It's kind of a tongue twister to say.
I love that character. I like what she does, no matter what it is, basically. Yep. She pulls it off really well, especially now that she's heel. Her babyface kind of thing wasn't working for her.
Man, that would have tore the house down if it was like if they gave him like 3 weeks to build that, and maybe it was like, I don't know, Thunder Rosa was been texting Adam Cole or something, or I don't know, something like this.
You can't bring in Adam Cole, baby.
Just tease it. Like, have you been texting my man? You don't have to mention Adam Cole. It could just, they probably get him some heat. They probably get him some heat, right? Well, I mean, there's nothing that the WWE could do if that's a storyline. If they don't ever mention Adam Cole, they just say that Thunder Rosa has been texting Britt Baker's man. Is it Britt Baker the person? Is it the Britt Baker the character? It's a little slippery slope.
They did show her in the crowd in NXT that one time.
They did. Yeah. Did she get heat for that? She didn't get any heat for that either, though, right?
No. She was there to support her guy. So
yeah, that's
personal shit.
So, but yeah, I would say solid B. I have become a fan last couple of weeks of AEW. At first, like, we didn't like the jokey kind of comedy stuff, but they put on good in ring. They have great stories. They do long-term storytelling, which I really love. So I got to give it a solid B as well, for sure.
No, for sure. What do you think of next week's is it next week title match? John Silver versus Darby Allin?
Oh yeah.
TNT.
Yeah, I mean, and John Silver's another guy that he's a gateway. You think he can take a loss because he's still in like a little Dark Order thing. He's not going anywhere.
He's like the only comedy on the show now.
He's like the only, but I'll give him a pass because he's so good. Yeah, he's good. So he's strong as hell too. So I'll give him a pass. I'm ready to see something else for the TNT title. Throw it on Lance Archer or something like that. I want to see him with it, or I kind of over Darby Allin. Let him go ride into the sunset with Sting or something.
Yep, for sure. Go back to the Batcave.
Mm-hmm. Pikachu and Raichu. Yeah. So
one lays down in the grave, one lays down in the nest.
Yeah, they're just a weird uncle and nephew tandem, whatever the hell they're doing.
It's weird Abbott Costello gig.
Yeah. So that does it for this week's show. Thanks for watching. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Hit the notification button to get notified on every single video we drop each and every single week where we do Raw, SmackDown, and AEW. Follow us on Facebook.com/WrestlingNeverSleeps, Twitter.com/WNS_TV, and Instagram.com/WrestlingNeverSleeps. For my very, very handsome co-host, the straight shooting in the suit, Adamantine James Martin. I am Jared Never Sleeps, your boy. Thanks for watching, and of course,
Have a great night. We're the greatest.
it's still real to me, damn it. Good night.